Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel. This will be a tarot reading generally aimed at what you need to know, what you need to hear from universe, from spirit, some messages that could be insightful for you. Now, I do want to thank you for joining me, for being here and supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. I do hope there's something here that can give you a little bit of insight into the situation that may unfold. I hope everyone is keeping well during this very critical time. But let's have a look and see what sort of messages are coming up for the sign of Taurus. Okay, Eight of Swords, Page of Chalices, Two of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Okay, a lot of air energy happening around you. 3 out of the 4 cards are air cards here, Taurus. So very much a month of communication. Now, there's going to be a lot of communication breakthroughs. And I think it's something to do with withholding things, not communicating. As I've mentioned, 3 out of the 4 cards are air cards. And, you know, you're sitting with your thoughts here, Taurus. You're going back and forth about something and you may not necessarily come to some sort of conclusion or decision. You feel trapped. You might even feel alone. You feel like maybe you're not getting enough support from someone. Maybe someone isn't communicating as much as they used to. Maybe that communication isn't as effective as it once was. But it's restricted or confined energy. And there you are sitting with something here, Taurus. I do feel like you're thinking things out. You're playing things out in your mind, hoping things could be a little bit different, hoping things could get better, hoping things, you know, you can understand the situation a little bit better. You're very back and forth though. The Two of Swords. I don't know if by you taking the time to think you're actually pushing people away, but you could be. You may not intend to do this. This can be conscious, this can be subconscious, but I feel like you're calling on it. You're attracting that sort of energy and you're actually pushing people away this way. You might also be saying no to things. And the reason why you will be doing this is because you need to think about things, because you're the manager of your own thoughts. And seeing that come up here, Taurus, this is very powerful. A lot to do with communication, and like I said, back to that, you can see a butterfly actually approaching the swords, and he waves his swords around. Now, he can't see that there's a message, so I don't know if this is subliminal messages that are coming in. I feel like there's a message coming through around you, and it's hidden. It's hidden, or the context or the intention of the message is hidden. For example, you might be receiving a message from a manager, or a message from an ex, or a message from someone you're interested in. And it could be very vague, or I don't think you understand the true intention of the message, or whatever this is that's supposed to be happening. And it may be causing a lot of confusion. Unnecessary anxiety though, Taurus. I mean, how much is too much here? I do feel like if this isn't you, there could definitely be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius around you feeling this way. You also have the Page of Chalices, which is the Page of Cups represented by the Pisces. And you can see the fish that's sort of been animated here through these droplets of water. So it might be one of these signs you're dealing with. I don't know, something about consolation. The butterfly is on her shoulder. The message of support is here. I think you're needing support right now, Taurus, and you're not really getting it. You're not really getting it. You either are pushing it away yourself, so someone is here asking to help you, to assist you in some way, asking to reach out, to talk to things about you, but you might be the one putting your swords up. You might be the one that's not ready to talk. And maybe you aren't. Maybe you need to go through a process, you know, whether this is a waning or a waxing moon in the background. It is Cancerian energy. And Cancer energy is deeply protective, so I don't know if this is a situation where you need to be protective of yourself or someone is trying to be protective over you. Maybe that's why you've got the butterfly coming on the shoulder, coming onto the shoulder here as a message of support, as a message of healing. It could also be someone checking up on you, and I said as given it's such a critical time, it could be someone who is genuinely concerned. And it could be their way of making contact with you. They may use an excuse, Taurus. So it's almost like an indirect, direct approach. They obviously want to communicate to you, but the guise in which they will come to do that might be somewhat confusing. Some of you will definitely take the bait. I say that because you can see this page of chalices here, and he's sort of putting out this dish, and the fish comes racing towards him. So it's bait. It's, some of you are going to take the bait. Some of you are going to understand why this person is intending. Others of you, because of the guise in which this communication effort is coming from, it might confuse you, Taurus. It might leave you in a somewhat confusing state. I mean, it can also be analogized to like opening, like in one way it looks like the fish is approaching the Page of Cups, but in another it almost can be read as if, he's opening up a bowl here and out comes, this flurry, this flourish. It almost looks like a genie, and the Page of Chalices is quite otherworldly. He obviously has a very spiritual connection to the fish here. So in one way, there is a very strong spiritual connection happening around you. It's taking place. You might not be able to explain it. You might try to isolate yourself in an effort to avoid it because we fear what we don't understand. Taurus, this could be you feeling this way. Okay, it could be you, but Piscean energy is creationism, it's escapism. Pisceans are the dreamers of the zodiac. They often rule the intuitive realm. They often, they're not foreign to these beautiful worlds that they create, these other worlds, this supernatural energy. So I think that's around you this month. I do. But I feel like there's messages, and whether these messages are from people or these are messages from the universe. In particular, there's two butterflies. Now, I don't know if there's a connection with Gemini here, because Gemini is represented by swords and can be symbolic of a bird or a butterfly because they're messengers, because they're known to be the communicators of the zodiac. So again, if it's not a Gemini sign, it could be communication efforts. A lot of communication coming in, a lot of which will be blocked though. The Four of Swords, someone is not open to receiving this message, or someone is not open to responding to the message. So there could be a failure to respond here. But no response is a response, Taurus. And we don't always see that, and maybe that's where the confusion is arising with that Two of Swords energy, the confusion of which we're unsure. But he's isolated himself on this tree stump in the snow. The butterfly approaches. He senses something is up because he obviously looks up, but he's got his swords up. So you know it's coming in one way, Taurus. Page of Chalices is intuitive energy. Pisceans are very, very intuitive. Whether or not you're dealing with a Piscean is irrelevant here. It's showing that on some level you have intuitive ability, and you'll be able to feel the momentum. You'll be able to feel when this occurs around you. You'll be able to tap into the energy. But there might not necessarily be much clarity. It could be a very vague message that's open to a lot of interpretation. And this is what I think is going to reside within you. It's this sort of energy that's going to reside within you here. And it's going to make you feel a certain way. But Four of Swords is that pulling away energy. Something's missing. You can see the swords. Have they fallen into the snow, or have they been picked up? Have they been taken? Has something been taken from you here? And that's why you feel the confusion. But I will leave your reading at that, Taurus. Very interesting reading.